according to Monique, means that the hat on the head means you're lying. I've never heard that, but that's the origin of cap. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
Tendencies to be less open-minded.
Which is crazy because that's literally one of the 3 spiritual principles that we have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have open. Yeah, we have to be open-minded.
It's intense stuff. Don't sound like the
do.
president and start
yeah.
inventorying yourselves, but be true to yourself. You don't have to.
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was missed.
It's beyond my wildest imagination.
It's getting deep in here now.
It's incredible, man.
We have the rainbow without going through the rain. And
I love it.
Me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah. And applying the recovery, I thought about it for a second.
Good afternoon, VA. Welcome to the Machine Foundation's Get in the Herd podcast. We will be doing a quick podcast. Might have a special guest on here. But before we get into all that, I just wanted to go over our events that are upcoming, and wanted to give a shout out to our sponsors as well. I think I'm gonna get rid of our co-host Travis because he doesn't know how to be. Oh, you want to show up now?
Yeah,
okay.
This is very interesting.
I mean, it's 1:12 and we said 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You do this every time. Like
And
you think you're the most important person in the room.
You know what you
so
did?
you got to come late.
You want me to tell you what you did?
I just know that you're not here right now.
You tried to pull a little slick move.
Were you here at 1 o'clock?
Yeah, I was
Why are
out.
you breathing so hard, man?
I was downstairs in your office, and then I went out to put out some fires, and then I see the Batmobile parked around the back.
Put out fires, you start fires.
You try to, yeah, I do.
Us three are on a text
Thank
message.
God for antibiotics.
Steve, what time did we say we were going to start? Antibiotics. You got to get the shot. We said 1 o'clock. Me and Steve were up here waiting, and you couldn't show up at 1 o'clock. Hold on, catch your breath. Just catch your breath. All right.
I'm in ketosis right
I'm
now.
gonna go over the. You don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over the events while you catch your breath. All right,
go ahead.
All right, so we got upcoming. Oh man, let me see. We got Mobilize Recovery Day of Service. That is our next. Actually, our next one is September 27th. What is today?
I don't know, but anybody that's coming to that, when you hear the buses, when you hear the little beep beep on the buses, that means the bus is leaving. Just if anybody needs to know that, that's a public service announcement.
This one's
when you
different
see them
than
pulling
that one.
out.
Yeah, when you see them pulling out, they're pretty big. They're large buses.
There's 3 of them. Right? Don't hang out with John. Because that'll get
You'll miss the bus.
You'll miss the bus. But our next event is actually September 27th. So today is the 19th. So it's this next Wednesday, next week. So next week we got Wellness Wednesday. Anybody out there tuning in, anybody out there listening, this is our a resource center here, and all our groups are open to the public. So if you want to just come in and get check out a group and you're just looking to get plugged into recovery, you can come in anytime between 8:30 and 5 o'clock. So Wellness Wednesday is a big one we do. On Wednesday we have a couple different kind of like holistic approaches. We got some yoga, we got some sound therapy. So different things happen on that day. So come check it out. It's at 10:30 and it's in the second floor in the chapel. And then
That lasts pretty much all day too, don't it?
Yeah,
breathing class.
Depends which ones, how they do it. Sometimes it'll get set up for all day. Sometimes it won't. Yeah. Come on in, Cole.
Right.
I wanted to interview you today. Ask you a few questions. So you come on in here.
What's that bowl? It's a metal bowl, and they run the.
Yeah, that's the sound therapy. That's Roku, I think. Is that Roku called Roku?
No, Roku is a television. I think.
No, like say Roki or something.
Oh, Reiki.
Reiki.
That's
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
Reiki?
I'm pretty sure when they do that stuff.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
Google that, Steve. That don't sound right. I mean, Jesse just
You're
told
not
me
allowed.
that up.
You're not allowed to tell Steve to.
I can't say
stuff.
Google.
Only I can. Only me and Steve. You think because we swapped chairs today that you can?
I
you can
feel
say-
more professional on this side. I tell you the truth, and does my voice sound deeper? Yeah.
Your voice.
Yeah, no
sounds-
wonder why you sound so bassful. This is the bass we're right here, and now
The
you
room is
sound weak.
tilted.
Yeah, that's definitely the Mickey Mouse microphone, man. Now I get it.
That's the trick, Mike.
Why are you looking into my soul like that, bro?
All right. Hold on. So look, September 30th. That's day of service. That's Mobilize Recovery Day of Service. That's not at McShin. It's actually at Monroe Park. Starts at 11 a.m. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. And then
Which one was that?
That is Mobilize Recovery Service Day.
Oh, okay.
Day of service.
And then the Wellness
Wellness
Day.
Wednesdays on the 27th. And then next week we'll be going over all our new events. So we'll have some stuff coming out in October, November, and December. We do some stuff with Santa Claus. We usually have like a big dinner in November.
Thanksgiving dinner?
Thanksgiving, and then there's a trick or trunk here in the parking lot with the church. So, so we'll do some things the next 3 months. It's not as big as this month, but there'll be some things happening, and we'll go over those. All right, so we're gonna and again, let me before I forget, I want to shout out our sponsor.
Sponsor?
Well,
No S?
Well, Hype Council they have until the end of September, and then we
Hype. My
not
man
that-
Walt. They
not-
got some sweet shirts.
yeah they do. Well, I don't know about the sweet shirts, but they got some sweet.
They're like
services.
they got like an 80s feel.
Sweet
to 'em.
services.
Services
you
too.
like the 80s.
I do.
Yeah, they have sweet services, but their sponsorship ends at the end of September, and they sponsor a lot of our different events. They just their sponsorship for this particular thing ends at the end of September, but I do want to shout them out because they were a recovery ambassador sponsor for Recovery Fest. So thank you, Hype Counseling. 804-213-0259 if you're interested and you need some services. They take Medicaid, so give them a call. They have all kinds of types of services.
Oh, they do? They take Medicaid? Somebody asked me about that
Yep,
today.
they take
So
Medicaid.
some place that takes Medicaid. Now I got a resource.
They have 3.5 houses, 3.1 houses, and they have some IOP stuff. So you definitely check them out if you need some services. And then our sponsor, who's sponsoring us for the year on the podcast, is the Farley Center. One big special shout out to them for taking on that sponsorship. We are working on some other sponsors. So, give us a call, man. Get your information out here, man. Bondsmen, lawyers, we're in over 500 jails. So if you want to get your information out, give us a call. We'll get you on your sponsor. And then if you have any services, contractors, yeah, the recovery community is very, very big on hiring. Got a lot of people here that are getting their start and they're trying to get good jobs or people that need services. So, come on, reach out to us, get on the sponsorship. But if you're looking for any type of treatment services, give Farley Center a call. That's 804-638-7329. They have a detox unit and they're treatment center for substance use disorder, and they take commercial insurances. They're located in Williamsburg, Virginia. So they're local in Virginia. So give them a call. Kelly Eason, 804-638-7329. All right, so I thought for a second it just was going to be me up here talking because Travis was 15 minutes late and Coley was
in the
ignoring
business
me.
we call it fashionably late. You can call it what you want.
you-
You call it 15. I call it fashionably.
Fashionably late and
ketosis.
Coley was ignoring me. You don't even know what ketosis is.
I
first
do
of all.
know. I just
And
ate
because
your
you-
whole snack box of keto bars. They were kind of like peanut. Is that real peanut butter? But anyways, ever since I
Coley,
ate them, I felt tired. So
you-
I
you
know
let-
I'm in ketosis.
Did you let him in my office?
No.
Oh,
He was in there when I got here.
Yeah, he just went in there. Did I give you a key or something? We gotta take
I have
that
my
away.
ways.
You just went in there and started eating my
Well,
snack.
no, I was working and I was listening to some spiritual stuff, and then I looked down, I saw the box. I remember
So
I'd
were
asked
behind
you
my
for
desk,
one
though?
before.
The only
Yeah.
person that
Where
I've
else
ever
would I
given
sit?
permission is Coley. Coley's the only one that goes behind my desk.
Yeah, well, me and Coley are partners.
Coley, man. Coley, I know when
Coley wasn't here. Coley wasn't here. Don't get on Coley.
Coley when Travis first got here, it was hell for you,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a great time.
Yeah.
Coley was pulling the hair out of his head trying to deal with you.
Yep, he pulled that last one out. I'm sorry, Coley.
So look, everybody out there,
It's my man, though.
We
Cool
got
dude.
a co-host here. He finally showed up, Travis, and then we got a special guest who wanted to talk to a little bit about some of his changes and some things that are going on with him and the way he's moved throughout recovery and moved throughout McShin. And what I mean moved is he's progressed throughout some of the positions he's had here. So I wanted to give him just talk to him a little bit, hear what he's got to say. He's been here. We were talking about this, and I wasn't trying to give him the boot, but he's been here a little over 2 years. So
Yeah.
The nudge, not the
usually
not
yeah,
the boot,
usually
the
that
nudge.
She's like, all right, man, it might be time to get that exit plan together.
Definitely consider
So-
this a
so-
success story interview.
Oh, 100%.
100% success story.
Coley's got a very interesting story, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, Coley. So first, how about you introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah. All right. My name
You
is
got to get
Coley.
that closer to you.
All right. My name is Coley. I came into McShin July 21st of 2021, and I've been here 2 years and a couple months.
Where'd you come from?
I came from West Baltimore,
Okay.
Now, Coley, I heard a rumor that possibly, I don't know if this is
You
true or
gotta
not,
look,
but
you gotta look at him when you talk.
well, I like to look into the camera.
man,
I like to
that's
listen to
rude,
him and look.
man.
I know,
You gotta turn
but
and
I'm
look
looking in there. Coley, I heard a rumor. Possibly. Now you're saying West Baltimore. I just like to clear these up right now because I don't, are you really from Maine?
I was born in Maine.
Have you ever seen those skits from Saturday Night Live about Maine? I think they're the funniest.
No.
You ain't never seen them?
No.
Oh yeah, you got to look those
Yes,
up.
you gotta look at it. It's like Maine is like the South State in New York.
Yeah, it's the south of the north. Have you ever heard that before?
No.
Where they do like these weird skits, and it's just funny because it's like up north state, but like
They're just so backwoods. Would you say? Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's how Saturday Night Live portrays it, not me. But
you
Coley,
gotta, hey man, if you could Google a skit from Saturday Night
and
Live,
throw it
yeah,
up there so people will know what we're talking about. Just reference point
Anybody watch Saturday Night Live?
out there. I know it's fallen off in the last couple of years, but
It's still good.
you still watch it?
I'll hit it every now and
Yeah,
then.
after the Adam Sandler years and all that, it kind of was hit
Adam
and miss with
Sandler
me.
was a long
Chris
time
Farley,
ago,
yeah.
too.
Hey, I'm telling you, and the show's been bad for a long time.
I think what happened with Saturday Night Live is just TV. Period. Nobody.
Nobody watches TV
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
True. So, Coley, how long did it take you to get your R's back?
Yeah.
How long of a process?
Well,
was
that's
that?
the thing up there. They don't.
They don't have them.
They
That's what I'm
don't.
saying. Now he does have them, and I was wondering, was that like a hard process
So-
for you to get those back in?
So
there?
just to clarify, so I left Maine in 2021 and never went back. I got out of high school. I went to college for like.
Hold on, you won't
in
out of high school
2021,
2021 now.
it's like
meant-
2
sorry.
years ago, bro.
I'm sorry, 2001. 2001. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
say you
Yeah.
went to high school. Nice try.
No.
You was with the Carnies. You was riding
Yeah.
around with
The
Carnies. Aren't they
Carnies.
called Carnies?
Yeah, my mom and dad and we did run with the fairs and the carnies and gypsy. I was like pretty much a gypsy from 7 years old up at like real young till third grade. Just in living in cars and with fairs and biker rallies, selling leather.
Selling
Later,
leather.
My parents sold leather.
What were your parents affiliated with any type of biker?
My dad was, but he wasn't. You know, he
It was like a hang around.
My dad was a 101st Airborne Special Forces guy, real tough guy. My mom was more affiliated with them, and my dad would come in and kick them out, and he kind of tried to save her, I guess, from these people. That's kind of how it was.
What was it? Like, was it like the Gypsy Jokers or?
No,
I mean,
it
was
was
it-
like all of them. I mean, it was Saracens, Hells Angels. There was a lot of guys coming from the Saracens. There was others
Saracens?
too.
I've never heard
Well,
of them.
yeah, what part
It's a
of
main thing.
Oh,
I
it's a
think,
main thing.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So yeah.
And Canada.
Oh, really?
I believe.
Yeah, I know the
right.
Hells Angels out there. Yeah, when you get down to Maryland and Pennsylvania, that's more of the pagans, and down here. So yeah, okay. The
Yeah.
Saracens, that's a new one by me. I haven't
Yeah.
seen them on Biker Wars on History Channel.
Those are most of the guys I saw.
That's where we get all our information.
That's where we get all our info. It's pretty reliable.
But yeah,
We didn't run with no bikers.
no, we didn't know nothing.
I left Maine in 2001 and never really. I moved to Brooklyn, New York, and stayed there.
Wait, hold on.
So how old were you when you moved to Brooklyn?
I was like 22.
Trav, have you ever? I know
22.
talk with Coley, but have you ever like sat down and like talk with Coley?
Yeah, this is my dude, man.
Like, cause like you have the most interesting like
yeah,
story.
yeah, he's international,
the
especially.
stuff that he's done. It's like this
I
is
don't really
cool.
talk about it too much
Yeah, I
though.
know, I know you
ever.
don't.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
I know one of the interesting. This is so interesting to me. Like the Carney language itself. Like we like
Yeah,
me and
there
him
is a
are
language.
Carneys right now. We could just be talking and laughing in your face, and the whole time, like, what could
You're
we,
right.
What could we?
We could be
doing?
setting you up.
We could be modding.
How do you remember that?
I'm a gypsy too.
Oh,
bro.
okay.
I've been on the
I
train.
didn't know. Shut up. How do you know this?
No, he's
He's
definitely
right.
not.
Yeah.
He's not a gypsy.
That's-
he's not a gypsy.
Oh, okay. How do you know that?
Because he wanted to be. He used to like do research on.
Are you
He
serious?
thought y'all
You
were
know
cool.
Jim Romney, bro? The language.
He just.
I didn't
it's
know-
kind of like Pin Latin, but back. Yeah, I got you, bro.
He's,
Stop.
he knows
He's
it.
right, though.
He
He is
watched
right.
Brad Pitt in that movie. That's how he knows it.
Which movie is this? I don't know this movie,
Yes,
but
you do.
He knows the word mod though. That's a real word.
That was Brad Pitt in that movie when he was the boxer.
that won't in that movie.
Yes, he was.
We're
It
about
was?
To, hey,
I don't know. I
We're
don't
about to
watch
mod
TV.
Jesse if he keeps on doing
Mod then jaw.
Hold on.
We'll
Yeah,
jaw.
How much you want to bet he watched that movie? What's the name of that movie with Brad Pitt?
I don't watch movies.
And he's
Yeah.
fighting in the ring.
That's
and they
crazy.
They don't say that.
I've never
word in
seen
there.
it.
You know exactly what movie I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's
I got some more. I got some more for you too. I mean, do you know what a space bag is?
I have no idea.
Do you know what sniping is? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It gets deep. I tell you, I used to ride the trains, man.
Coley's having a flashback. Right now.
I know. I'm
Coley,
literally
all right?
thinking about. He's just opened up. Yeah, that's crazy. You just said that.
So-
that's all
so,
I'm saying. He's
yeah.
right about that, though.
But Coley, trust me on this. He does not know. He does not know what.
I'll
that's
talk to him
about.
after this.
I'm deep
trust
in the
me.
game, bro.
Yeah,
So
we can use that to our advantage around here.
We
though.
can.
Don't side with him. Cole.
No,
He'll
I
get
know
you in
better.
trouble.
Yeah. These would be so helpful, like in RP assessments and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I used to use I used to use in Waterville, Maine. I was born in Waterville, Maine, and I used to use there. Devastated that area. I remember talking at the police station about them ruining people's lives because they put people on probation and they lock them down in Maine. You can't leave, and these people are there's not much to work out there. You know, you got great people just and was smoking weed at the time, right? And they get on probation, it destroys their lives. And I was telling them we should do something for rehabilitation for these people, not incarceration. You're destroying people here.
So had they started?
I had that serious conversation with like 3 of the top police officers there. They had me handcuffed to a pole, and so
Was that before they started?
Operation Hope. So I'm wondering
Really?
if that had any effect because these were this was a DEA.
Yeah, it did. They were probably listening to you and watching you, man. So they hadn't started Operation Hope yet.
No, and I was an
That was
umpire.
like a seed being planted.
I used to umpire the little kids' games out there, and
Hold on.
yeah,
Did you? Because the only reason I'm saying this is like one of those God moments because you know how like things will you just like odd stuff. So some dude texted me today about umpiring Little League Baseball, and I umpired Little League Baseball.
Did
And
you?
So like I was flashing back to when I umpired baseball.
Yeah, me
and
too.
Now you're stop.
I did the
You
same
don't
thing.
even know what a strike is.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
This is
Yeah.
called the ripple effect.
That's probably why I don't do it anymore. Probably why I don't do it
So
anymore.
you umpired Little League Baseball
I
or high
did.
school? It was Little League, high school? What?
You know what's crazy? It was Little League, and I threw the son out of the head DEA officer.
Oh, you took it very seriously.
I threw he was the coach, and I threw him out of the game, and it became a war between the DEA officer, the head officer Beers, and I. And he hated me.
mad.
Yeah,
So
it
anytime
was a
you
thing.
messed up,
He
that was
raided
it.
my house 6 times.
Over the Little League
Never
game?
found anything.
Because you threw
They
him out.
take baseball serious in Maine.
Coley, they used to get mad at me because
the only sports team they
my
have.
strike zone was so big. I just wanted them to swing the bat and get the game over with. So
Yeah.
call everything a strike.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's
that's
his,
smart.
Yeah, parents would be out there yelling.
Yeah.
That's below his knees.
Yep.
Show me
That's probably
the
what happened.
What's the signal for a strike? Give me the signal right now. What's the
What
signal?
was yours, Coley?
No, how did they do it in Maine? You don't do the finger to the side?
Yeah.
That's how you did yours?
Oh, he has it. I think he's being serious too.
He's dead serious.
I mean, he must have took it serious. His
it's-
house got raided 6
You,
times.
you
by
know
him.
what's crazy though? This girl just came down from Waterville, Maine, and that's the guy that owned that field called Fran Purnell Field. And I don't want to out or anything, but she that's her grandfather.
Who is it?
Fran Purnell from Purnell Field. He owned the whole field.
Oh, he owned
and
the
she
field.
just came in, and I know her dad. And her dad's dad was like instrumental in my life at that time. Like one of the most amazing human beings. They have the Little League World Series at that field now.
Really?
Yeah, they've
So
redone
that's
the
what
whole
they do,
thing.
the whole because baseball is a pretty big sport in the United States.
Little
Yeah.
League gets serious
Well,
too.
it's now football is starting to do what baseball did. Basketball is doing it too, but like baseball for the longest time, it's like all year round.
America's
traveling
sport.
ball, like you never stop playing baseball. Now they're doing the same thing with basketball,
AAU,
traveling
yeah.
around, and then they just started doing it with football. And I'm like, man, these kids, they're too young. You got to give them a break. They're gonna hurt themselves. And,
True.
Burn
But
'em out.
so they do the World Series up there. That's cool.
At that field, it's called Wrigley's Field now or something like that. And it was all Fran Purnell, man. He got this land, turned it into a field, and started his own little organization.
so-
it's a phenomenal story.
Were
It's so
you-
sad. Yeah.
What's sad?
He just passed away like last month,
okay.
and that guy had such a big impact on my life.
They should
it's
name the field
unbelievable.
after
and a lot
him.
of people. It was his field, Fran Purnell Field.
It's named after him.
I thought you said it was Wrigley.
They just changed
What?
it to some Wrigley
He
Field.
said Wrigley Field, like the Cubs.
I can't remember the name. Don't quote me. But when he put
You're
all this
definitely
money
quoted.
into it for the World Series to be held in Waterville,
Yeah.
they changed the name to something else.
How big
I
is
haven't
this?
been up there.
This Waterville sounds kind of small. Is this?
It is
what's
small.
the population of this town?
It's got surrounding
Everything in Maine is
cities.
Small.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a big
10,000.
city in Maine?
I know. What do y'all got in Maine?
No.
All y'all got is clam chowder and Stephen King. What else is up there besides the gypsies?
Lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I left the lobster out.
You did.
I see why you moved to West Baltimore, though. It's got
Well,
a little
that's
more
a long
How old,
action.
were
story,
you,
but-
how old were you when you made that move to Baltimore?
I went to Baltimore in 2019. I moved all over the country because I was in Brooklyn, Queens. I lived in
Oh,
Manhattan.
yeah, Brooklyn. I forgot about you. Said, so what were
Yeah.
you doing in Brooklyn?
So I had this little situation happen. The feds rolled up on me and they threw me in a van, and I was like, you
Like
know,
kidnapped you?
You know what Coley used to do?
I told him I'm leaving the state.
Yeah, he was like the bodyguard for prostitutes. Yeah, a collection agency. He was kind of like the collection
All
agent.
right.
for the-
one is this a true story?
In
Oh, you have a
Baltimore,
different one?
in West
Yeah,
Baltimore.
what
that
do
was-
you got? No, that's later. We'll get to
That's
that.
later on down
Yeah.
the line. I'm talking about.
Let's
so-
slow walk this. This is
so,
getting good.
Bro,
Now
this
you're
is
not-
crazy. You guys outing me now. Right now, hard.
Is this your?
I respect that job.
I
I
don't want
mean-
to get you in trouble now. You know,
My real name is Coley.
Okay.
Coley
No, the
Couture.
feds had nothing really,
Yeah,
technically.
so-
they
so-
didn't have no. Well, yeah.
But so
I didn't
I mean, so you're good. You've done all your time for everything.
Yes.
And the reason why I want to share this with everybody out there listening, anybody tuning in that comes across our videos, our our live feeds or anything like that, we always want to share about what it was like, because
The
you definitely-
craziness.
Yeah, you got to understand what it was like, because you got to be able to understand the transformation that Coley took place. So at one time, Coley was. I guess the best way to describe it, you was a drug, you was a drug dealer. You were
Right.
using drugs, but you were
Yeah.
actually supplying drugs too, and you were doing it not just on like a small level,
Right.
And that's kind of plays into your story that you're talking about, moving from place to place, feds kicking in your house, coming after you, that type of stuff. That's pretty much kind of what happened, right?
Yeah, and it was triggered because my mom didn't pay back taxes on our house for like a long time, and they came to take the house. They wanted $17,000, and we were losing the house, and that was what cast me into the moving of the
You said,
large
I'm gonna
amount.
try to get some money.
Yeah, it was to save the house, and that was what essentially was the decision that I made at that time.
That's what prompted you to.
And yeah,
That's what got you into
And
it.
what was it? The large amounts of?
it was Molly. It was Molly and what we call boats, which is press pills,
boats?
ecstasy.
You got to be a gypsy.
Press
man.
pills. We had a
between
big
me and
rave, 10,000 person rave in Lewiston, Maine. Network One, our guys I worked with, we rented out the entire Civic Center. It started being like 10,000 people at a time, and
Y'all just doing
Oh,
raves
it was
and
like a
stuff?
party.
yeah, and then
you supplied the
we
party.
had people
Yeah.
coming in with bad drugs, so we started confiscating their drugs and bringing in our own pure good drugs.
When did
It's very entrepreneurial.
when most
well, it
most
was
people
protecting us.
Yeah.
too.
When did you become your own customer? When did that start happening for you?
Well, that's a good question. Everything was fine until I took my first hit of crack, or coke. That was when I
First hit of
really
crack, yeah.
what broke it for me. And I had rules to the game, like people I associated with. If you broke them, you were out. It was like 3 strikes, you're out. And I started breaking my rules when I actually tried. When I took a hit of crack, like I said, I wasn't going to take another one, and I
What did you
did.
say?
And
What
I
did you
did take
say?
another hit. And I was like, what the hell? I just broke my word with myself. And to me, that was fundamentally changing. It was
What-
crazy. I couldn't believe
Did
it.
you jump straight to the crack, or was there like a little? Did you
Well,
climb the ladder a little?
you
Were you
smoked-
taking a little
you said
Molly?
You smoked weed and you were doing drinking. And all that
Yeah,
when you were
and
younger.
mushrooms. I was
Partying.
running in festivals. I used to sell large amounts. I used to grow weed too, and I'd sell large amounts of weed and mushrooms basically at festivals. It's always against the hard drugs.
Yeah.
Really, at first.
Were did you listen to hip hop music? Rap
Yeah.
music?
Were you
know
into the
Biggie-
techno? Because now that you're
Yeah.
talking about the Molly, like I'm seeing like a little
Yes.
Coley
I
with
used
the
to
glow
b-boy.
sticks and everything.
I was a freaking
So,
b-boy.
You
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to break.
You know Biggie Smalls' song, "The 10 Crack Commandments"?
Yeah,
right?
similar to that.
You didn't listen to it. Then.
How many crack commandments did you
Never
have?
get high.
Because you had a
Don't
lot of
supply.
rules. Did
Yeah,
you have 10?
Yeah. His rules. Yeah,
You followed
absolutely.
those rules?
Yeah, but I had my own. My
No,
own
he
rules
didn't.
were definitely similar to that.
Yeah,
but,
give us one
it
that's
worked.
different from the 10 crack commandments. What was one of Coley Couture's rules?
Well, I had guys that would go out and distribute. I got the stuff, and they could only associate with people I pre-approved. If they went outside of who I allowed them to talk to or to hook up, then they were done pretty much. Or maybe
No
I'd give them a
outside
couple.
friends, though.
No, they had to be pre-approved. We call it vouch for.
Yeah.
If they
what
weren't
about their
vouched for,
girlfriends?
done.
Did their girlfriends have to be vouched for?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. you
When,
didn't know.
I stay in my lane.
So, speed up a little bit to the demise.
Yeah.
It was and everybody's got a story where there was some like fun, right?
Yeah.
There was some good stuff happening, but something happened. The demise of all this, right? You said you took that first hit of crack, you went against your rules, you started using.
Yeah, what triggered that? Were you like just around it a lot or something, or were you just in a...
No, when I was dealing with the Molly and all that, and the X, and it was good vibes. It was the rave scene was great. The parties were awesome. But with that dude that I got them from was like, here, I'm throwing you 250 grams of blow, and I was like, no, man, I hate that. I don't want it. And that when he threw it just to have, here, just have it. I was like, all right, I'll take it. So I took it, and that's what really, all my friends started doing that. The vibes changed. That's when the downfall really started.
Because you had been so against the hard drugs.
Yeah,
you said.
except Molly and ecstasy, like I was cool because that was like you love each other. It was such
drugs.
and everybody loved it. It was fun. It was b-boy. I DJ'd at the time a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Did you think about the money when he threw it to you or something? Like,
So-
I could just come up off this. The rule ain't that serious. This, he threw you all the crack, and you were just...
It wasn't
like,
crack. Well, that
or
was
the coke or
regular
whatever.
coke, but I knew better than to take that.
Oh, damn.
And-
Went against your own rules.
And then,
But
I started making $28,000 every few days, like every 4 days.
And then you would take in more.
$1,000 every few days.
Yeah, every like 4 days when I went back down. And
That's a lot of money. I can see, man.
on
But
pillowcases.
Yeah, but
And so one day you're just sitting in front of me, and you're just like, man, what's the big deal? Let me try some of this.
No, I walked in. This guy actually, I walked in and this guy handed me it, and I hit it, and that was it. Like this dude just handed it to me. He's like, "Try this," and I hit it, and I was like,
He did it without even thinking.
I did it without thinking, right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
So all that money, all that fun, and then it's usually the end result is usually jail. I mean, it's cliche as it is, jails, institutions, or death, right?
Right.
And
And a sharp decline.
yeah.
I did things like I had the guy at the phone company. He was an older guy, like been there years, retiring, and I used to give him 8 ounces of weed every month to tell me if my phone was tapped. And back then we had landlines, and one time he told me your phone's on the list. Another time, a guy I was playing baseball with, his dad was a lawyer. He saw the warrant on his dad's desk. His dad was the district whatever. He had to sign that warrant, so he called me and said, "There's a warrant for a search for your
did
house."
you ever-
I was
did you
always
ever get
tipped
locked
off. I got locked up for 6 months. I did 6 months. That was it.
So that was the most time you did, 6 months.
That's the most amount of
You know
time.
what's crazy, Trav? Right? You won't no drug dealer, right?
No. I mean, I would cop for people,
might-
and I
you
might have
might
some here, but I
have,
won't
like,
know. The
aspirations
feds
of
weren't
being
looking
one,
for me.
right? Yeah, and I
No.
wasn't. At one time, I tried my hand trying to.
Yeah, you
get
did.
weed,
Yeah,
and
you
it
thought you
worked
were
for
the-
like, it worked for like 4
it was
months.
awesome.
but we both we did end up doing like a little small time, but more than 6 months.
What do you
right?
consider small?
Couple
A
years.
third of our life?
Yeah.
You mean
Well,
on
at
the
time,
installment
yeah,
plan?
we did it on
Yeah.
the installment plan. But like you were doing all that, and man, they couldn't get you.
Well, I had-
but
Yeah.
what did get you was the disease.
Right, the
Yeah.
disease got me.
Disease got
Yeah,
you.
what
'Cause-
led you? Yeah, because you went from you had the club thing going on. You hit the crack. Like this is in Brooklyn, right?
No, this was in Maine actually. Before
Oh,
I
okay.
left.
So you come to Brooklyn, but like because the
I
feel
left.
that I get from the West Baltimore era seems a little different
It is.
than
That's
fun
when
and
he was in the-
games.
yeah, he was in the streets then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because up there I had stick-up kids. I had people on command to do. I had a lot of power up there to do whatever I want. A big crew, and
So you left on the run?
I separated myself from everything. But I moved silently, and
Very Sun Tzuian of you.
But yeah,
I made that
when the
word up.
feds came, they tried to set
Gypsy
me
word.
up. They tried to set me up, and they pulled up in a van at this thing. And luckily, my buddy didn't bring it. We were both kind of suspect about this guy, and yeah, he didn't bring it. So they rolled up on us. I knew they had nothing. They threw me in the van, and they're like, when they were playing me recorded, talking about ladies. I'm like, bro, you're either gonna arrest me now, or I'm leaving the state. That's what's going on.
And this was such a
And
small
they let me
town,
go.
too,
They let
so-
me out. They kept hitting
So
me
you
and telling me,
left.
"We got you. We got
You
you." I'm
knew it
like,
was time. You
arrest
got
me
up out
or
of
let
there.
me out this van. Either one. I'm leaving the state. As soon as I get out this van, I'm leaving the state. I'm just letting you know. And they're like, "We're gonna check on you throughout your life. Just know that." And it's crazy because at Purnell Field, that dude was the FBI agent. He said, "I've been watching you." He was always at those games, man, and I recognized him. He's like, "Yeah," and I was like,
Watching.
that's the
Waiting.
motherfucker. Like,
But so-
who would have thought he was an
So
FBI agent?
you after that you was like, I'm gone. I'm done.
You had to
Yeah.
go because it's such a small town.
Yeah.
Now you're hot.
Big
and-
fish, small pond.
Yeah, there you go.
Done.
So-
Gotta go.
So before you came here, so you end up in Baltimore throughout all the stuff. you know, were you was it when you were younger, or was it during when you were older, when you were traveling with the
It was
with the
younger.
Carnies?
It was before all that.
So it was like
yeah.
growing up. So your parents did that. You kind of did it as part of.
That's what kind of gave him his street smarts.
My
probably.
brother broke his neck in a pool. They were like doing that thing, like chicken, and he broke his neck when I was
hold on,
really
what thing
young.
were they doing?
Yeah,
Where
what
someone
thing
gets
like
on your
chicken?
shoulders and they push each other off. Someone broke his neck. Yeah,
Damn, they
Broke his-
took the damn
was-
chicken game to the next
They
level.
must
What
have been
the?
holding on tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was paralyzed from the neck down, man, and he was in the hospital for like a year, and he started feeling a tingle in his toe. But meanwhile, that like triggered us to stay out of state. You know what I mean? Like down to Funtown, USA. He was in Boston. They sent him to Boston, airlifted him to Boston, and I was really young at the time. But that was kind of how we started moving throughout the East Coast more. And I think that for looking back now, because I was so young, that's looking at what my parents' decisions were. That's what triggered it all, to be closer to him. And
Well, so what ended up happening? Did he pass away?
no, he actually walked out of the hospital.
He
which
said he
is
got a tingle in his toe.
He got a
Yeah,
tingle.
he finished it. So he,
Yep.
so he- really?
He did. He's one of a
Where's he
million.
at now?
He's up in Maine. He's a half brother, different father. He's in Maine. He has a couple of daughters. They're my nieces.
Damn.
Phenomenal people.
Younger or older?
Amazing people. He's 16 years older than me. My brother, half brother. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's like well, you were going to say 1 in a million shot. I know the odds on that
Yeah.
are got to be astronomical.
Yep.
What
Damn,
was that
that's
story
amazing.
you told me about when you were traveling, when you were with the Carnies and the young kids?
Don't give them too much
Yeah,
game.
Listen to
Don't
this.
give them
So this is how
Fishing.
I realized the world was crazy. So I'm like second grade, maybe third grade, just before I started third grade year. We were at this, and I used to run around all alone, you know. And this Carney told me his name was Midget, 7 feet tall, stunk real bad, real stink.
Big guys are always called
Big-
tiny. Fat guys are always called small.
Yeah, midget.
He was 7
So-
feet tall.
7 foot tall
I thought it was
called
gonna be
midget.
because midgets are. I mean, I don't know if that's the correct term. So-
Right.
Well, that was just a nickname.
Not these
But-
days, no.
I know,
Yeah.
but they
Right.
were. They're,
But
they
that was his
travel on the
nickname.
Carnies too, though, right?
Yeah.
Small people, little
Yeah,
people, right?
Yeah.
This dude was literally 7 feet tall, huge, and he told me to run up behind a donkey, smack its ass, and yell "buck." And I could not wait till I seen a donkey. So I'm running around the fairground looking for a donkey, and I found one. Bro, I smacked its ass. I yelled "buck," and next thing I know, I hear people going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm like tunnel vision. I'm laying down, and all I could smell was pony shit because it was embedded in my chin.
Damn.
So the
Oh, it's
donkey,
bad.
the donkey kicked
Oh,
you
it-
into the poop, or he pooped? and
No,
kicked
it was
at the
on
same
his
time?
hoof, and
Oh.
it embedded into my chin.
And he smacked you in the
All
face.
black and blue and just shit. And it wouldn't come out because it was in my chin like
Man.
for months.
and you
I
were
smelled
what,
like
in
donkey shit.
second?
Couldn't move my head, and yeah, it hit
How
me
old were
hard.
you then?
I was in
grade?
second grade. Just
Now
yeah.
now this is
7
this
years
is
old,
good
maybe?
because this
7 or
is
8?
This
this is why
explains a lot.
kids are so soft these days with the helmets on the bikes and stuff. Listen, man, Tiny had him behind a donkey getting face jacked at second grade.
I think that's why I can't get knocked. I mean, people try to knock me out. I've been hit with all kinds of objects, and I don't go out. I don't go out.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what.
feel
Like
that-
I've been.
I feel like that's like if you think about like I guess like the myth or about gypsies, you know, that they're just like tough.
Really?
Yeah. That's
The myth.
or, I
Would
don't
you
know,
say it's a
yeah.
myth, Coley? You're
I've
pretty
never
much the
heard of
only
it.
person I know that took a hoof to the jaw
Still talking.
and still talking mad too, talking mad stuff.
Man, like, and you was 7 years old, probably 7 or 8. man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Tough
man.
shit.
So
And my dad used to always tell me, "Hey, if you get," my dad was 101st Airborne Special Forces. He used to fight with me, train me. He used to put me in a box and sit on top of it and I'd lose oxygen. And if I would panic, he would let me out. He would like. He
What
tried
kind
to
of
get.
box are we talking
He
about
tried
here?
to get me not to
Cardboard
panic.
box?
But what I'm saying
type
is,
of
my
parody
dad,
is that?
that was when that before this. So I was like, yeah,
So
first
hold on,
grade,
hold on.
growing
Let
up
me
as
see
a
if I can
child.
try this
Oh, so
with
you
you.
were already
Everybody
ready for
thought,
the
yeah.
donkey kick because you had been in the
I
box.
was. My dad used to, he would say, I don't know, you're going to learn on your own. You're either going to make the right decisions and live, or you're going to make the wrong ones and die. And,
get in
you
this
know, you
box.
got to survive.
Get in this box.
You got to be a survivor. Yeah, he would.
And what kind
Yeah,
of
it was
box
scary. People thought I was being child abused, but he was training me to not panic. And
Yeah,
it saved.
it was a gray area, but
it saved
I
my
respect
life.
your dad for that. I mean, was this a steel damn box?
No, it's a wooden toy box.
Oh, he put you in the toy box
Yeah, and it was
with no toys, just you.
just flipped over and sat on top of it. So, and I would panic until I pass out. But what I realized was, and I thought I was gonna die every time. But what I realized, if I just sat there and did not panic and just stayed calm, I could stay in there for the amount of time he needed me in there. But if I panicked, I would lose oxygen and pass out. Thinking I was gonna die.
And you think that was okay?
Yeah.
It saved my life multiple times. Like
No, I'm saying, would you do this to your kid?
if it was a boy, maybe you make him a soldier like I was.
I like the
maybe,
way you
but
think.
A girl, I wouldn't probably do that. I definitely wouldn't do that to a girl. But technically, in reality, will I do it? Probably not these days. But I think
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, that's tough.
This is why they say to some people, big T's and little T's, big trauma for some people. What's trauma to Coley is like.
Yeah, well, that's definitely
True.
true. That's trauma. Not everything that might cause you trauma doesn't cause
Yeah.
me trauma.
Right.
So I definitely agree with that. That's tough, man. So is Pop still alive?
no, he passed away in a situation up in Maine. He was in an RV and it blew up and burned. He burned up in the fire. He passed away, and it was a pretty
RV
tough
just blew
situation. There's no. I don't really want to go into detail on that, but yeah,
not like
I
a Breaking Bad situation.
I feel bad about that situation, and it's been with me my whole life.
How old was he when he passed away?
It was 2008. He was
Oh, that's been a while,
67, 67.
Oh, so you were like what 20? That was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so where's
I'm
Mom
42
at?
now. My mom passed away a little bit after that happened. They both passed right back to back.
And that probably was a part of the time where you where your illness really kicked off, the disease, because
Yeah.
Yeah, where were you at in 2008?
I felt guilty about my dad, and I felt like I was over for me. I wanted to, and it real got bad. It got bad.
Were you in Baltimore then?
Were you in
No,
was this
I-
to Baltimore or New
I was
York
in
or-
Clearwater, Florida. My dad and I were supposed to go down in the RV to Florida because of some things that were happening. And I went up to Maine and was with him for a couple months, and he wouldn't leave. And there was things going on that I had to be out of there. And I don't want to go into detail on that, but what happened was my boy from Florida, Clearwater, came up. He's like, "Man, I'm coming to get you," and I was like, "All right, whatever." Bet, like, I didn't believe it, and he comes knocking on the RV door. He's like, "You're coming with me," so I left with him, went down. But a month later, I get a call at 2. I talked to him that night, and the crazy thing is, my dad said to me, he says, "Did you thank the Lord today for another day?" And I said, "No, Dad." I was like, "All right." He's like, "You need to make sure you do that every day." And then he said, "I want you to bury me in this RV." This was hours before he died.
Was that an odd thing for him to say about the Lord? Was
Or
it
does he
spiritual
say stuff
dude?
like
Or
that?
He said that before. No, he was a
just
very
saying,
spiritual.
just one of his sayings?
Yeah.
So you and your dad were pretty close. Would you say he was kind of a somebody you looked up to, mentor, guided you in your life?
Yeah, my dad was a very intelligent man, and they called him the general. He was everyone in the town knew him as a general. I guess in the newspaper they said the way of the warrior. That was his thing, and he was
Obituary.
writing a book about his life to hand to me, but unfortunately it burned in the fire, man. And yeah, so
Well, you still could write the book though, from what you know. If you wanted to.
technically, I don't-
autobiography.
Well, you were writing a book for somebody here, weren't you?
yeah,
Weren't you ghostwriting?
Yes.
You're a
Well, he-
multifaceted,
when we-
multi-talented dude. How
when we asked him about that, John wasn't too happy.
he didn't have
I know. I'm not moving quick enough for him.
You're a busy guy though.
I know. I can't do it while I'm at work, Jesse. So
That's
on company
all
time.
right, man. John thinks you can though.
Good
Yeah,
answer.
he does.
You
But
can write the book whenever he tells you to.
I got to sit down for a minute, and I'm in the middle of it. I'm excited. It's gonna be powerful, and it's quite an honor to write something like that, and I'm almost like trying to go ahead in time, like it's already written, and go back and then write
Wait,
it.
hold on. Which book are we
Visualizing
talking
it?
about?
John
John
Schneider-
Schnauzer.
autobiography thing.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about.
autobiography.
I thought you were talking about you write one about
For
you
your
and
dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no! Right now, John Schneider asked me to,
Yeah, well, you
Right.
can practice on John.
So
and
you
then
are,
give-
yeah. And then, so you are still doing that for John because he
Yeah.
made it seem like it wasn't happening when we talked to him.
Yeah, well, because he had come to me and said something like, I'm gonna die, boy. You got to get that written, And I said, all right, yeah, you're right, because I've been.
I'm going down.
Yeah.
So
He just running
So-
game
yeah.
all over.
Yeah, I know.
Throw the guilt trip
No,
on him.
But look, Coley, how are you writing it though? Is he giving you like?
Or is he just like write what you
Yearbooks or
think?
something?
everybody asks that. So what he did is like we're doing podcasts with people. Like the first chapter is about Narcan being passed, him going to the General Assembly with these pictures of a girl that was on left McShin, and she had a 6-year-old daughter next to her bed. Like she had just when she was in the hospital on life support for 28 days. Her daughter is now 16, and so we literally sat down and did a podcast with her, and went through the whole story because he used these pictures of this photo shoot she got 4 days before or 5 days before she was in the hospital. Beautiful photo shoot, and then you see her in the hospital with her little 6-year-old next to her, and then she passes away. John
pretty
used
powerful.
those
I've seen
pictures.
that, yeah.
So we did this podcast with that family, a private thing. It's not public, and so I have that podcast, and I'm really transforming that into the
Transposing.
first chapter.
So
Because it's a war, like a fentanyl war is killing people.
So his autobiography is not going to go back to like. You're not going to go back to like his younger days. It's going to go back to.
This doesn't sound like a biography at all. Now this sounds like just like stuff that John did.
I think what we're doing is something
Which is a
about
biography. Sorry,
the overall purpose, and effect, and
it's not a life story
of John Shinholzer.
Yeah.
But that's how we're opening it up, and that's
So
the,
you will go back at times. I got you.
That's up to
Oh,
John.
yeah,
That's up to
yeah.
John. But I mean, we're going to open it up with the whole purpose of what.
So it's like
the
a Quentin
facts.
Tarantino movie.
It's
You
a
start
war.
out with the end.
He's
at
battling
the
it.
beginning, and then,
The effects of Narcan being passed saves tens of thousands of people
Oh, it
every
does.
year right now. So
do you think? Because I could, and I don't want to like put words in your mouth or like assume anything, but when I hear you describe your dad, like I feel like there's some resemblance with John. and
There
your
is.
dad, right?
They call John the
Yeah.
general too,
Yeah,
or he calls
well,
himself the
that's
general.
crazy.
Like, I could see your dad like as a stern, loving and caring, but stern approach. Going to be direct, going to give you orders. Sometimes not care about your feelings. But,
Absolutely.
but care about your
Yeah.
well-being.
Yeah,
And, like
that's my dad.
Because you gravitate, not in a bad way, but like you gravitate towards John as in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's probably because there's some
Never thought of
resemblance.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
To dad.
You respond well.
my
to
dad
that
called
kind of-
everyone asshole. John calls him something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was an asshole. Everyone's like, my dad would use different. I was the asshole, but he had different names for everybody. But it was all out of love.
Yeah.
Blockhead, scrambled eggs. He would say certain things to people.
Scrambled eggs.
He
I
would-
like
he-
that.
John was an instant, and he would know people's entire background based on their last names. And like
dad?
my dad, he had intuition and gut level like you wouldn't believe. And John that's an instant judge of character, and to be very accurate with it after talking to someone. And John, I feel, is the same way.
Yeah. I don't know about that part.
I don't know if he's that good with the
but-
last name.
But
Not last name, but instant judge of
yeah.
character.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, somewhat. I think that definitely, a judging character can come with time, right? You get a feel for people.
You mean he can read people good?
Yeah,
on a quick level.
But I definitely see the other resemblance. The stern approach, and I can
The
see-
military
yeah,
background.
and I see the attraction for you to John,
Yeah.
which is cool, man. So you need to do good writing this book, man. I never knew you were into writing, man. When you told me you were doing that, I went out and said, "Man, you write? I didn't even know that." But so let's switch gears, Coley, because you all that stuff happened, and sorry about your mom and dad.
Yeah,
losing
thank you.
anybody.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Yeah, that's tough losing anybody. So that stuff happens, and you're living. You were Florida, this and that.
Yep.
But so let's get to Baltimore.
I know.
what brought you to
Baltimore is where the
Baltimore?
action's at.
Yeah, what brought
Yeah.
you there though? How'd you end up in Baltimore?
So I was, I met a girl in Clearwater, Florida,
Met a girl.
and
In
yeah,
Clearwater, Florida. This sounds like the beginning of a country song. All right, continue.
yeah, and so we met in Clearwater, and we ended up moving. We ended up moving back up to Maryland because her family is in Maryland. She was pregnant with my daughter, so we wanted to be closer to her family. We were getting married, so we got married, and I moved to Columbia, Maryland. Well, actually, I moved to Ellicott City, Maryland, and then the crazy part about that was there was a lot of stuff going on at work, and I don't know if I can go into detail on that either because it was
You got a lot of not going
yeah.
into detail in
Which
your
I get it. You don't have
stories.
to go
I
into
get it.
detail.
I
We
get
don't,
it.
we don't want you to
Yeah.
to get. You're definitely needed here at McShin, so I don't want the feds.
Right.
to
Yeah,
pick you up.
yeah. Don't go into too much
Yeah.
detail.
Look, real quick before we go on out, anybody out there tuning in to this video, to our live feeds, anything, please look on YouTube, subscribe and like. If you're on Facebook now, just share it. Send us a comment. We need all the comments. You can get it. It helps us out. Give us a like, and then if you come across this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, like this, and then if you listen to this on our podcast feeds, leave a review. Leave some reviews. Give us a 5-star review. This helps with what we're doing. So please like, subscribe, share, and throw out all the comments you can. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna have to have a part 2 of this because I do gotta.
Yeah.
I want to get into more detail. I want to. You gotta. This is good. We got a whole. I know we're missing a bunch.
Not the details that you don't want to
Yeah, not that.
express,
I mean-
but like there's so much. This is such rich stuff. We've had to fly through it. I mean, Coley's like up and down. There's a lot. Like I could have got into a couple of the things right there, but like so many different states, so many different situations.
So many different lives,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah,
It's
and
just a lot. You've done a lot, and then what's even cool is like you turned it around, man. We haven't even got to that part. Right?
Yeah.
Been able to turn it around, and so Trav and Coley, I have another meeting. I got at 2:30, so I got to get off here in a few minutes. But
that's no excuse. Play like a champion.
Well, if you were
You
here
didn't
on
learn
time-
that when you were the
if
little
you-
league
if you-
umpire.
If you were here at 1:00, and if you didn't ignore my text message, we would
Delayed reaction.
But so you got married.
Yeah.
You're there. Some stuff happens with work. Is this the woman that you have your daughter with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you end up having a kid. You're in Baltimore, and before we end, what
Cliffhanger.
What? Yeah.
Listen, the
Something-
Baltimore story is great. Tune in for this part 2 because the Baltimore story is going to be
It
really,
is,
really
man,
good.
Because I know you've seen some of that stuff that now has hit the scene real big. Is that designer stuff that's going on up there? I remember you were talking about that. So something happened. Will put you to the streets, right?
Yeah.
And let's talk about that real quick before we end.
Just a quick cliffhanger. Don't give them too much. Just something to bite their teeth.
It's funny when you say story because to me it's a memory, and it's hard because it kind of irked me when people say a story, but it's like it's when
my
I
life,
talk to
man.
my
This ain't no damn
sponsor.
story. It's
My
my- yeah.
sponsor used to
Not
say
a
he's got the
story.
craziest stories, and I confide him, and I hated. I got angry because I'm like, this is not a story, But anyways,
life.
it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
my freaking life, bro. It's not a story, but anyway, so
this ain't Disney. What
so
are you talking?
Paramount Plus,
Real
what
stuff,
the hell?
man.
yeah, man. What happened? So
HBO Max right here.
Yeah.
I guess the long story short of all that is I ended up so I was booking cruises I was an international cruise specialist.
Told you he was
world-
international. I'm telling you, this dude.
I was a world cruise specialist too. I was a world cruise coordinator, but that was a senior cruise specialist. It was really my title. But I worked with people all over the world. I had clients in many countries, and I worked with all the major cruise lines, man. And
So you book cruises.
Yeah, I booked cruises,
Did
and
you
I
get some free ones too? when you
yeah,
went?
I cruised a lot actually. That was my
I've
product.
never been on one.
You never have. We'll talk. I mean, I can help you.
Are you still
talking
plugged
about.
in with this thing?
I mean, I have all contacts, all the cruise lines.
But
yeah.
you know how to work them. You know the. ins
Yeah,
and
I
outs.
got
You
guys
know
I
what's good.
train that are like director of business development, like for Norwegian, and people that I literally stay in contact with. I
So
work
you know the
directly.
discounts. You know the good rates and stuff.
Even better, like I booked Shinholzer's cruise to Greece, so his anniversary thing. I got contacts.
I tell you what, see, Coley don't tell you. Never know about a guy. You
Yeah,
just
you
think the
be
guy's
sneaking
running
stuff in there.
around
You
doing the
booked that for
thing,
him. I
and
had no
he's got.
idea you did something.
He's
Yeah.
kind of like the
Yeah.
James Bond of
So-
McShin, man. He's got like a lot going.
I had over 1,000 clients around the world, man, and I
definitely
stay
are
in
gonna
touch
be
with some of them.
booking one of
I
these
got
for
clients in Malta that want me to go visit them. I mean, I have a lot going on with that, but again, I've changed lives. Like I step out and I move on and I change lives, and I still have clients reach out. I don't really respond to them right now, but maybe I will.
But
I
so
feel
you're
bad
doing
about that.
So you're doing that. We're gonna talk
Anyways.
too. But so you're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the cruise industry on COVID got September 19 shuts
Oh,
down the
yeah,
cruise industry.
yeah.
I'm making like a lot of money and I'm doing really well, between 50 and 70 like on a regular. My bad year was 50. Last year I made was 70. And I'm paying all these taxes, right? And then they shut down the cruise industry. I can't work, and then I applied for the unemployment and the COVID and all that. And then I had lost my apartment because I didn't have the money. Like my lease was up that next month. I tried to renew, they wouldn't let me, and so I had to find a place to go. So what happened was I didn't have a job. My unemployment, they denied me. They completely denied me, and I kept trying to get the unemployment, and they kept denying me. And so I was like, how do I work for 6.5 years doing this, making minimum 50, just made 70, paid tons of money in taxes. They're not giving me unemployment under COVID. So I ended up losing my place and trying to stay
They
with
were
people.
literally giving that to everyone.
And then I get on the streets.
I mean, people that were in prison.
That's what pissed me off.
So many people had so much canteen from these 10,000.
They were getting in prison too.
Yeah, so they had me flagged as identity theft. They said they didn't believe I was who I was because I didn't have a solid address.
You think this could have been the feds
Yeah,
still
you know what
checking
that
up
was?
on you?
That was old boy up in Maine.
Yeah, he was still mad about that daggone Little League game. You should have threw it.
No, he passed away. I heard he passed away like a couple
Sorry.
Somebody up there was still mad.
But maybe he
Family
was
member.
alive
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I was
Well,
probably
look, everybody, listen. Tuning in. If you happen to come across this tonight, you're watching some videos on YouTube, checking out recovery stuff. There's a turn in this story, right? So we're gonna come back. We're gonna do a part 2 either Thursday or Tuesday next week. So tune in, check it out. It'll be around 2:00 Tuesday.
We
or
might have
Thursday.
to recap
Thursday
some of
or
this,
2.
yeah.
We definitely will. But I
Yeah.
want you to tune in because you haven't got the good stuff.
Yeah,
yet,
we
man.
haven't got to the
You know,
the successful
yeah,
just
man.
turnaround of
Cole-
this.
Toy box to recovery.
Cole,
Yeah,
that's right.
From
man.
from the hot box to recovery.
Coley has done some real good stuff, man.
Great
I really
stuff.
want to
Thank
talk
you.
about that. So we're going to get into that. Anything you want, any parting words real quick you want to say to anybody, Coley?
No, just if you're looking for help, come to McShin.
What about anybody in the prisons? We got 540 prisons potentially listening to this right now. Jails and prisons. We have something for them for the part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about
Don't let
that,
your
man.
highs get too high, lows get too low, man.
Yeah, sleep late, lose
Stay
weight.
even.
Don't try to get no COVID money while you're in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
sure.
don't.
File
don't.
for unemployment and you get approved. Let me know.
All right, everybody. Look, we will be back. We will definitely be back. All right, y'all.
Peace.